I would say this is perhaps even the easiest part of it, because if you talk to the younger generation, if you talk to the students at the university camps, but if we talk to our own people who are joining the companies, it is absolutely stunning and encouraging, I would say, to see how those young people are really interested in sustainability. They wouldn't like to work for a company that is really not sustainable, that doesn't have a strong set of values. And therefore, I must say, to bring the message over to our people, to encourage them to be responsible and to be ecologically sustainable is a relatively easy thing. I would almost dare to say they demand it from their management that we correspond to their interests that they have in this area. Well, it really started everything, like many things, by the way, in Davos. This was some years ago, and the Davos meeting was dedicated to corporate social responsibility. And for 5 days, basically, everybody was saying, we have to give back to society. And I listened to that, and at the final plenary, I dared to stand up and they say, look, I've listened now for 5 days that you all have to give back to society. Let me say what I think. I do not have to give back to society anything because I have not been stealing anything from society. Because I'm convinced that with what we are doing in our daily life and built into our normal strategies, we are creating value every single day for society. That was the beginning of rethinking the concept of corporate social responsibility, which in many cases was almost satisfied by writing a big check out, and with this basically I have bought my good consciousness. That's not what I think a CEO of a company should be doing. First of all, he should not be spending the money of its shareholders for philanthropic reasons. I think this is for the owners of the money, but not for the manager of money. So therefore, I'm against philanthropy for the CEOs. I'm not against philanthropy for those who are the rich people of the world and they want to do philanthropic things. But they are the owner of their money. The CEO is not the owner of the money. That's the first thing. And the second thing, in order to make it sustainable, it has to be embedded in the strategy of a company. Now, at the same time, it happens that Michael Porter of Harvard University wrote a very important article where he was also trying to see corporate social responsibility and competitiveness. And he tried to find a link between the two things. That made me then afterwards talk to him, and we started in this intellectual discussion to develop this new concept of creating shared value, where we are saying that by concentrating on those areas where the main strategy of a company can optimize both shareholder value and the values for society, that in these areas we should be concentrating our efforts. And in the case of Nestle, together with Michael Porter and Michael Kramer, we then made an analysis of all of activities of Nestle in Latin America, which helped us to identify the areas where we could create the highest shared value. And we came to 3 areas, which was basically nutrition, not surprising. Secondly, it was water. And thirdly, it was rural development. So that's a way how it evolved. Now, in order to make this a broader concept, we launched last year at the UN main building the first Creating Shared Value global conference, and we created an advisory board where, of course, Michael Porter is also a member, but where we have integrated 14 of the leaders in social development, in rural development, and from those areas, in order to constantly help us to how we can optimize even better this creating of shared value. That's basically what it was. And the rest was to talk to our own people. As I said before, they were more than happy to receive the message and are very, very actively engaged in creating this shared value.